dear students, how are you today? Our lesson today is the social insects. Let's discover out what are the social insects. The social insects are insects that live and work together, like ants and bees. So ants and bees are social insects. Bees are flying insects. They have wings. They produce honey. Some of them are domestic, others are wild. Wild bees build their nests in nature. The bee's nest is called a hive. These hives are built by the bees. Domestic bees. Man builds artificial hives in order to collect the honey. So these hives are built by the man. Hives are usually put in the shade, away from wind. The bees build small rooms inside the hives from wax. These rooms are called alveoli. These are the alveoli. Wax is produced by bees. This is the wax. How do bees make honey? If you watch a hive, you'll see bees coming and going out of this hive. The bee fly around from one flower to another, then come back to the hive. But what they are doing? When a bee lands on a flower, bee sip pollen and a sweet liquid called nectar with its long proboscis. Then, this sweet liquid called nectar goes to their stomach. They have a special stomach for storage. Then the bee returns to the hive. When returning to the hive, the bee spits the nectar out and passes it to other bees. They do this for a few times. Why do they do this? Because in the inside of their stomach, bees have a special liquid called enzyme. This enzyme, when it is mixed with nectar, it makes it thicker like honey. So when passing the nectar to other bees for a few times, bees are adding more enzyme to the nectar. This is what turns nectar into honey. Finally, bees store honey in small containers called alveoli. So this is how the bees make honey. The inhabitants of the hive. Who lives in the hive? Each society of bees has a queen. The role of the queen bees is to lay eggs. So the queen bee lays eggs. Male. This is the male bee. The male's life is short. It fertilizes the queen. Fertilization means it is the mating between the male and the queen to lay eggs. Worker. This is the worker bee. The worker has a small size. It carries a sting filled with venom, so the worker bee can sting. Workers gather pollen from flowers, build up the alveoli, and take care of the hive. From the egg to the bee life cycle. The egg gives a larva, the larva develops into a nymph, and the nymph becomes a young bee. Thank you for watching.